Hello everyone, welcome to sprint number 2. Now in this sprint we will be more talking about that if digital transformation is a must have for small medium businesses. If yes, how a global perspective is there, and in India if SMBs have to go for any of the digital transformation, what are the typical areas they need to take care of, especially when there are the concerns around. So here we are starting with it. Well, you know what? As I said, is it a Pandora box or is it a box of opportunities? I'm not sure of. You have already serviced, you have worked with Fortune 50 clients, you have worked with SMBs also. Now, can you decode it when we talk about digital transformation as a world in itself? And when there are so many lip talks are happening around, lip services happening around, or it is so much about the jargons are here in this field. Can you make it simple, let's say, for a person like me to understand, is digital transformation for me? If yes, what are the different components that make this entire ecosystem?
Absolutely. And thank you for putting that question. I think that's a very important question, very pertinent for the times, right? We live in a world where there is constant cacophony of sounds around digital. There's a lot of blogs being written, people talking about digital with really not having as much knowledge and not having done or executed digital projects. So I'm very passionate about digital transformation. For me, digital transformation has to be of very tangible, very important value to a business. So I even tell all my clients, small, medium enterprises, or whether if they are large clients, that if it doesn't make sense to you as a business, don't do it. So I believe that it's not a Pandora's box, to answer your question. In fact, if you think of Pandora's box, when you open it up, there are all these demons that were let out. I think if you don't do digital transformation, it will be a Pandora's box, and we will not know which demons have been unleashed, right? Because you will not be prepared for the future. So I will simplify this for you. For whether it's the global context or the Indian context, digital transformation really is nothing but creating a competitive advantage for your company by using digital technology, right? And the way you want to do it, you talked about, earlier when you were introducing me, I'm very passionate about technology. So having taken the journey through the Indian IT companies and then working with global companies, I've seen digital go full circle. You started with platform systems and technologies, so now we're talking about experience design, we're talking about e-commerce, we're talking about Internet of Things, connected mobility, autonomous vehicles, and you've got virtual and augmented reality. One of my companies is in that space where we are building some state-of-the-art technologies, right? Or if you're talking about just plain mobile apps, social media, applications, analytics which drive everything, customer behavior, or for that matter, the cloud, where everybody is going. So when a small and medium enterprise hears these terms, they get very afraid. I have a lot of my friends and my customers who constantly ask me, do we really need to do this? We are so well settled, we're doing okay. The challenge is, it's okay when there is no recession, it's okay when there is no threat from competition. But I think the difference between the winners and the people who are now struggling is that the ability to transform themselves digitally. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. However, I would still go with that how there used to be a standard manufacturing unit when it was put forth that they should go with IT transformation. Then it was about the support service transformation.
Right.
Now we're talking about digital transformation. I take it as a monster. I'm not sure if it is for me.
It is a monster, but like all other monsters, it's the good monster.
Okay.
Right? So the friendly monster.
It's a good dinosaur.
You've seen the King Kong versus Godzilla. I would say this is King Kong because Godzilla is the enemy, right? So I feel that small and medium enterprises have no need to be afraid. You do not need $1 million budgets to do a digital transformation. And anybody who tells you that you have to spend a lot of money, crores of rupees, probably that's not the right person you're talking to. Maybe we need to decode how it would affect or impact their enterprise. So let me talk a little bit about how it makes sense for small and medium enterprises, because I feel today it's not the large companies that need digital transformation. It is the small and medium companies, because they need to be nimble, they need to be agile, they need to be very competitive. And I feel that if you apply the right technology, businesses will move leapfrog, right? They will get ahead of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a very simple process that we use in our business, in our advisory.
Mm-hmm.
We lead clients to very rigorous mechanism. We basically put them in a 2-day workshop, and we synthesize all their inputs. We take all the ideas, all the strategies that they've done, and then we brainstorm, we idea storm, right? And then we come up with a roadmap. You don't have to do everything overnight. You just look at the low-hanging fruit. So we can talk at length about what I do in my workshops. But I think what I'm trying to say here is that a small and medium enterprise really needs to figure out what their business goals are. And you cannot have too many goals. I can summarize it down to 4. You either want to improve your profitability.
Okay.
You want to increase your top line revenues, right? You want to reduce your costs, which means you want to gain operational efficiencies, or you want to increase your market share and improve your scale and reach. So it's very important for the small, medium enterprises, medium businesses, to first figure out what problem they're trying to solve.
Okay.
Once you have a good understanding of that problem, then the next step is really understanding how do you get to the next step in the evolution of digital in your company. So you may have a legacy system. You don't have to overhaul it and completely replace it. Can you tweak it? Right? So that's one step you want to take. And it is not always about technology. It could be about a process.
Okay.
And I think that's the most dramatic change that has happened in the world of digital since Steve Jobs changed the world. Right?
Okay.
It happened with this iPhone.
Uh-huh.
And I believe my digital journey started with the iPhone, because what really happened is we started paying attention to design.
Right.
We started paying attention to customer experience. And I think the heart of digital is customer experience design. So what I would advise every small and medium enterprise, because they serve a larger group, the Global 2000, the Global 5000, they work for the large companies,
Right.
is attune yourself to the needs of that larger community while keeping a ear open for your end consumers. And it is very important to look at your business model and draft a customer journey. What does your customer go through? Put yourself in the shoes of the customer through every use case. Let's say, for example, right, a good case example would be, I was working for this client, which is a small medium enterprise, which basically launder shirts and uniforms for various entities, and they do it in a very phenomenal way. They have this personalized service, but they were not digital, right?
Okay.
So do they overhaul their entire operations and say we are now a digital first company? No, I think they take steps to get there, and that can be either painful or exciting depending on how you choose to go about it. But for us, it was a beautiful journey because we went along the way with them. We talked about several elements. You need to have a solid approach. You need to pick your goals. You need to design, have a very strong design thinking approach, and then you need to drive change through cultural change.
Okay.
And that is difficult, right? Cultural change doesn't mean you change your thinking. Cultural change means you bring everybody along, you show them the benefits, whether it's customers, stakeholders, employees, and eventually you transition from a legacy to more of a millennial leadership, which is what I think most digital companies are becoming.